It's the Weekend Garden Show featuring Sam.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today I'm sharing 8 things I've learned as a beginner gardener. Plant multiple seeds and multiple pots. This is some spinach that I grew. And although I planted multiple seeds, this was my only pot. Spinach cooks down quite a lot. So if you plan on having more than 2 or 3 bites, I highly recommend planting multiple pots and seeds. Grow things in their proper season or temperature. When this onion started sprouting, I stuck some toothpicks in it and sat it in water. And when the greens grew taller, I planted it. But it was the end of June and way too hot. Onions prefer cooler temperatures. Understand how the plant grows so you know what to expect. These plants came from the onions we just talked about. As they grew taller, I saw that they could be separated into 3 individual plants, and I planted them in that pot. However, I was expecting to get 3 bulb onions, not realizing that that's not how onions grow. What I was actually getting were 3 green onion plants, but I didn't know what I had. Fertilize as soon as the first set of true leaves appear. See that little guy in the middle? That's what you're looking for. As soon as that pops out, go ahead and give it some fertilizer. Your plant will still grow if you don't, but I've noticed that they don't get as big or look as healthy if you don't feed them at this stage, so definitely worth it. Make sure your seedlings get adequate sunlight. Notice how this seedling looks like a tiny palm tree. Your seedlings should not look like a tiny palm tree. This means that there isn't enough sunlight, so this poor seed has stretched itself to try and reach whatever light it can possibly find. Make sure you give your seedlings the sunlight they need to grow properly. Plant as early as possible. These are my sweet potatoes from last year. Delicious, but quite small. And that's because I had to harvest them after only 90 days because I ran into the first frost. I'll be planting these 2 months earlier this year. Soil preparation is important. This isn't the best photo, but basically there are things growing on the left side and barely anything growing on the right side. The right-sided pots have cabbage, cauliflower, and collard greens. But those plants are very heavy feeders, and I didn't have nearly enough fertilizer or organic matter mixed into the soil to really promote the growth of those plants. So definitely important to make sure you prepare your soil properly. Understand the kind of fertilizer you're using. These fertilizers are great to use, but they break down over time, which means that they don't really benefit your plants right away. So using a fertilizer like this one is something that's going to work for your plants right away and give them the boost they need to grow. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Happy gardening!